this? What are we doing here? Tell the people, Liam.
Okay, well, welcome to Questioning. This is a podcast for members of the LGBTQ community. We ask questions that other LGBTQ people are afraid to ask.
And then I do my best to answer them.
Yeah.
I say we start by giving a short introduction of ourselves. Do you want to start us off or should I?
You can go.
Okay, I'll go. I'm Noga. I use any all pronouns. I am a cis queer woman, question mark. That's how I feel about my gender. Yeah, I'm Liam's older sister's friend.
Great.
And so that's how we got connected, and now we're here making the podcast so I can give him guidance live to the internet.
Yeah. My name is Liam Henry. I use he, him pronouns. I'm 15 years old, and we are both from Canada.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in my infancy in the LGBTQ community. I've only been in it. Yeah, I'm a baby gay. I've only been in it for about 2 years, and I kind of became out to everyone just very recently, only in May. It was when I came out to my dad, so now I can be open about it.
How long have I been out? Let me think. I've been doing LGBT allyship work since grade 9, and I've been out to my family. I've been out to my mom since I was in grade 7, and then out to my family, to my dad since last year. But thank you so much. I've been out to everyone else for forever. For context, I just finished senior year of high school. I'm 17.
Alrighty. So
let's get some questions.
I have some questions. Let's do it. Alright. So my first question is, where do you think that we should draw the line of which terms should be accepted into the LGBTQ community?
What do you mean by that?
So
I want you to expand. Are you asking our ace is LGBT? The answer is yes.
Alright. Yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to, because there are a few terms that are kind of floating around, like asexual. Demisexual, anyone can identify as, and it's kind of under the ace umbrella.
Yes.
But a lot of people complain because they think that demisexuality is just kind of everyone, because the idea of demisexuality is that you're only attracted to people after forming a close bond with them.
Yes. I think that to say that demisexual applies to everyone is wrong, because there's a difference between choosing to act on sexual attraction and having sexual attraction.
Yeah.
But then also discourse about who belongs in the LGBT community tends to be really gatekeepy. General rule of thumb, the LGBT community was created as a political coalition of people who are oppressed in similar ways. And so if someone experiences a similar oppression on the basis of, gender identity or sexuality, I say let them in. Obviously, there are lines to that. Pedophiles aren't LGBT.
Oh yeah, no, MAPs are definitely not LGBTQ.
Oh, MAPs.
Oh my god.
I forgot that was a thing.
It's so awful. I've seen it everywhere. I've never seen someone I've only seen very rarely people who are actually identifying as MAP. But I see it all the time
on the internet.
Yeah, it's so weird. There was some account on Instagram that was it was supposed to be a fan account for Josh.
Okay, whatever. We're moving on. We're moving on. I don't want to hear about it.
Okay. There's another term that was also floating around, and this one kind of is iffy for me. It's called semi-bisexual. So
straight.
So
yeah, I've heard that one. I've heard talking about that one, but I haven't seen anyone identify it.
Yeah, I've heard talking about it too. I haven't seen anyone identify either. But if you really think about it, if both straight and gay people can identify as semi-bisexual, should it be a term that can be accepted into the LGBTQ community?
It's such a pointless term.
True. Fair enough.
I think that it's a pointless term, and also it's bullshit internet discourse.
True.
For us to sit here and talk about semi-bisexual. It's a thing that real people identify as.
Alright. everyone's valid. It's just like, that's just like a strange...
No, I'm gonna say it here. I'm gonna say it here. Semi-bisexuals, just take a label.
Oh, wow, you heard it here first, folks. Alrighty, what else do I have? Alright, so what is your opinion on some of the genders in the non-binary umbrella?
They're all chill.
All chill.
Or, like, okay, what I've found, or like what I've heard from non-binary people, I don't think that I can tell people that they're not valid in their gender, as a cis person, as two cis people sitting here.
True.
I don't think that we get to do that. But what I've heard from a lot of LGBT people is that, like, or a lot of non-binary people, is that they'll have a more specific identity than non-binary, but they'll kind of just tell people that they're non-binary because they feel embarrassed to, like, be more specific, because as soon as you're more specific, people start to clown on you for, like, having a uber specific Tumblr gender. And it's just, like,
it's kind of really awful. Like, I've seen like so many terms online, and some of them I don't understand, but I want everyone to know that everyone's valid, even if I don't understand like what the term means or why someone would identify as it. Anyone can decide to identify as anything they want to.
Yeah, like, the thing is, a lot of the, like, very niche genders are just people trying to come up with language to describe their experience with gender, and, like, everyone has a very unique personal experience with gender and, like, relationship to it. So, like, I am not gonna sit here and be like, your micro label is wrong.
Oh yeah, true. Definitely. Okay. Back onto the Google Docs we go.
Back onto your Google Docs.
Okay. What do you think is the next step to be more more progressive in the LGBTQ community?
In the community or outside?
In the community. Like, what should be more validated?
Good question. I think maybe we prize visibility a lot over actual progress and rights.
Yeah.
And it's really important that we remember that, like, we're in a fight for liberation, and a lot of the times that is tied to other oppressed people, and to the state being, like, bad.
Yeah.
You feel? I'm kind of an anarchist, so I'm just talking out of my ass a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. Within the LGBT community, I think we need to work on racism. We need to work on ableism. We need to work on classism. We need to work on fat phobia. We need to work on misogyny.
Yeah.
We're not immune to anything.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've seen, like, there's so many people, and they're just doing it casually, where they would, like, comment on posts saying that being gay is unnatural, or, like, mixing races is unnatural, and they just kind of get away with it. Like, obviously people give them hate, but, like, they don't face anything if they're not fazed by the hate.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what I'm proposing is a return to radical revolutionary roots. Just being anti-oppression, like, in all shapes and forms.
Like, akin to what's going on right now with the Black Lives Matter movement?
Yeah. I think LGBT people should 100% be
rioting.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily rioting, because if you're a white gay and you go to a protest and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna break shit, then you're putting people of color, especially black people, potentially in danger.
Right.
But we should be active members of this protest.
Oh, back.
Okay, we're back. We had some technical difficulties, but we've returned.
iPad overheated. I'm not sure if we're gonna get the video back. Hopefully we will.
It's okay. We'll do our best.
Alright, so were we in the middle of a question?
No, you were just about to ask me a new one.
Alrighty, alright. Do you think that gay people should be allowed to say the F word?
All gay people?
All gay people.
I think I don't get to have a take as a bisexual woman. At least that's what the internet wants me to think. Okay, my personal thing is that I am not going to go around saying the F slur or the D slur, really, maybe with my friends,
Yeah.
I will say these words, but it's a very specific context. Where they're gay.
Yeah.
I would not say it around my straight friends because then
Yeah.
they think they have the right to say it.
Oh my god, that's so true though. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't like how a lot of these words are kind of starting to be normalized again because they think that everyone's equal, so everyone has like the same rights to words.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like the visibility for queer people reclaiming slurs has made a lot of straight people feel emboldened. Cis straight people feel emboldened.
Yeah, and like you know, I hate to generalize, but like especially straight white men, it's kind of like in like I don't know.
Them.
I don't know.
Inspired them.
Yeah, they kind of inspired them. You know, like if they really want to say the F word, then just become a gay rights activist, okay? Like have like 10 LGBT.
Just pretend you're gay.
10 pro LGBTQ accounts set up. Black Lives Matter movement. Yeah, someone needs to start like the Manny petition again. Get people on board.
The Manny petition was kind of shit.
Oh no, yeah.
Okay, we'll leave that for now.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying about slurs, specifically the F slur, is like I'm not going to check LGBT people if they say it, but like my general rule of thumb is like I won't say it.
I see.
That makes
sense.
I'm a little uncomfortable with cis women saying it.
Oh, do cis women say it?
I've heard it a couple times.
Oy vey.
They're queer women, but they're cis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I
haven't heard cis straight women say it yet.
So cis queer women, why are you uncomfortable with them saying it?
Well, the history of the F slur is, LGBT people, this is very violent. Getting wrapped up in sticks
right.
and set on fire.
And
the majority of those people were gay men and trans women.
Oh.
And so, like, generally the historical basis of the F slur is, like, it was more so used against, like, gay and queer men.
True.
And trans women than it was against cis LGBT women.
Alright.
Although, like, obviously a homophobe is still gonna call me the F slur if they see me. Like, oh well.
Yeah. Who cares? Those people are the real ones that are gonna run hell.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you think that people having types that are based off of people's skin tone or if that someone is transgender are valid?
So like a racial preference or a genital preference.
Yeah.
I think those are racist and transphobic.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
I once saw a comment with someone trans commenting saying that they wouldn't want to date someone else trans. And like
I think that's a different story, and I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to get into cis people saying they don't want to date trans people and white people saying they don't want to date people of color. Let's get into that one. I think that when you just act on a preference is different from being like, this is my preference. Fuck you if you're outside of it.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Gatekeeping?
Not really.
Or just being open.
Okay, if I'm on a dating app,
yeah,
and I happen to be swiping more, like swiping right or like saying yes, more so to white people. That is very different from me being like, I only date white people.
Right.
You feel?
Yeah, I get it.
Especially since a lot of the beauty standards that we're fed are very, cis-normative, as well as white supremacist.
Yeah. That's true, but like what if the roles were reversed? Like what if a person of color said that they only want to date white people, or someone cisgendered like fetishizing trans people because they're transgender?
Okay. When you fetishize trans people, that's gross. That's also transphobic, just in a different way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
when people of color say they only want to date white people, I don't think that I can really speak on that.
Yeah.
Although I think that a lot of the time, that comes from, again, internalized. Wow, there's a lawnmower in the background. We'll wait a bit.
Yeah. Who wants to be part of the podcast too?
Yeah. Do we want to pause the recording or just keep it?
Yeah. Let's pause it. I'm gonna check on the iPad.
We were in the middle of a question. We're just gonna pick up from where we were. So we're back on audio too. Woo!
Yeah. Woohoo!
I was saying, people of color saying that they only want to date white people generally comes from, again, internalized white supremacist beauty standards.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna not speak on that too much because I'm not gonna tell them what to do. I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell non-white people what to do as a white person. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want me? I can, although I can't speak to people of a certain minority group wanting to date that same minority group. So, for example, trans people saying I really only want to date trans people, or people of color saying I really only want to date people of color.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes back, or like I would be like, I generally would prefer to date queer men than I would to date straight men, especially cis straight men. Sorry. That comes back to like, you guys have a shared experience. There's more of a mutual understanding there.
Right.
And when you date someone who is from the privileged group.
Right. But going back to shared experience is so if white people only want to date white people, it's like a different story because. Like,
yeah, your shared experience is privilege.
Yeah. True.
your shared experience is privilege.
All right.
And I don't know.
And that's defiantly. I only put in 8 questions, and one of them was like the whole thing about. All right. Okay. This is the last question.
Is this your last question?
Yeah. So I think we
Well-
might need to end the podcast after this, actually, unless
Okay.
like we can like kind of like branch it on.
We can just shoot the shit for a bit.
Yeah. So this one's like not really. This one's kind of like recent news.
Okay.
But, like, people have been discussing adding more pride flags, to the Apple emoji kind of lexicon.
Okay.
But Apple says that they don't want to add them because of sales reasons.
What do they mean by sales?
Well, okay, wait. Hold on.
Explain. Yeah.
I'm not even sure if Apple, like, outright said this, but, like, I saw it in a TikTok comment section.
But that's
like,
what
someone...
people thought.
Yeah.
Like, I think adding more pride flags is good. I think, personally, my favorite pride flag is the, like, Philadelphia one with the black and brown stripe and then the rainbow.
Oh, yeah. That one's good.
Also, the bi pride flag. She's cute. She's cute or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my god, what's your... the thing is, I hate MAP so much.
Oh, no.
Their flag...
Back to this.
Their flag
Does it
is
slap?
so beautiful. Like, it has, like, the
No!
best colors.
No,
Oh, it's
I
so
don't want to hear
bad.
about it. I don't want to hear about it. Don't even tell me about it.
It's so... Like, oh my god.
Why do you know this?
I don't know, because, like, TikTok. They're evil.
Ew. Why are you... You're on the, like, discoursey part of TikTok. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm on-
kind of dumb discourse.
Yeah.
Sorry, Liam.
It's true.
Okay, do you have any other questions that are coming up for you right now?
Let me think. Okay, maybe no more controversial questions, but how about just, like, basic LGBTQ questions?
Sure, go ahead.
So, symbols and flags, what's your take on them?
Which are the good ones? Which ones do I like?
Yeah, which ones do you like? I don't know. This is like gay small talk.
Okay, small talk. I don't know. Whichever ones aren't transphobic.
So true.
Because I say this because a lot of lesbian flags have
Really?
histories with transphobia.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
like, we eventually have the orange and pink one, which I think is
That one's
really
great.
cute and really pretty.
Mm.
But not everyone loves it, which is removed from that transphobia. But, like, there's I forgot what it's called, the one with the axe on it, and there's the other one, just the pink one, and there's the lipstick lesbian one, which is basically just the pink one with the lipstick on it.
Yeah. Those ones are lesphobic? Homophobic?
No, they just they have origins in a lot of like transphobic turfy stuff.
Yeah. I've heard of that before. Okay, not anything against this, but I know one flag that's really, really ugly and I don't like.
Which flag is really ugly and you don't like?
The polyamory flag. Someone.
What's the Oh yeah, isn't it like pie?
Yeah, pie.
And then like green.
No. So it's black, and then it's like a really, really, really eye-piercing blue that's just like, you know like the fonts that the 10-year-olds use, and then they just go
Like the Comic Sans?
Yeah, and like the
Yeah?
most bluest blue. And they
Okay.
thought it was that, so they
And
use
then
that.
there's the pie.
And then they have like the reddest red, and then just a yellow pie in the middle. Like definitely, I could see these colors being used for something that's really nice, but like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. It's not a cute flag.
But it's not offensive. Like.
That's not offensive. Also, it's important to note that poly people aren't necessarily polyamorous people specifically aren't necessarily LGBT.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe this is a bad take.
Well,
Someone
okay.
will call me out for gatekeeping here.
So we've been, we were previously talking about asexuals, and
Yeah.
I kind of had like an idea, like what if the asexual, like agenders, everything, had their own community outside
Gender,
of LGBT?
I think falls into
agender
non-binary.
falls
So-
into non-binary.
So like aces and arrows.
Yeah, aces and arrows, because they can be straight or queer. So I think
Yes.
it's kind of dead center, and same for polyamory.
Polyamory. A distinct polyamorous community does exist.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yes, it does exist, and there are very straight polyamorous spaces, but there are also very LGBT-centered polyamorous spaces, and they're all good. They're all fine.
Yeah.
I think to say like aces and arrows have to go out and make their own community
Is kind of not nice.
Acephobic. I don't know.
Acephobic.
A little bit. Like I don't know that they have the numbers to do that. The LGBT
True.
community is meant to be a coalition of a lot of different identities,
Mm.
and so maybe there will be specific spaces within that.
Oh
or
yeah, there's
arrow-specific
there's
spaces
definitely like
within that, but I
Yeah.
don't think that they have to go out and do shit on their own.
that's true.
Especially since, how do you know any ace people in real life or online?
No, I know a few people that are questioning if they're ace, but I don't know anyone who's like fully out as ace.
Okay, so I know of some ace people online, and then I know a couple of ace people in real life. None of them are cis and straight.
Oh, true.
That's the thing. A lot of the people that end up coming out as ace or arrow are not cis or not straight.
Well, if
because
if someone's asexual, are they really straight?
yeah,
Or
exactly.
are they
'cause they're
really-
not heterosexual.
But also like, are they really queer either?
Not necessarily. They
Yeah.
don't have to claim the word queer.
Mm.
They don't have to claim queerness as an identity at all.
Oh my god, it's so hot.
Yeah, it's hot out here.
Seriously, 30 degrees. Oh
I'm
my
so
god, my phone
red.
is overheating again.
Oh no!
No, oh wait, no, it's not. It's not. Okay.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm worried the iPad's gonna overheat in like another 10
Yeah,
minutes.
watch.
Scared.
What's a flag I don't like? I don't know if there's a flag I don't like. Not one that's mine.
Yeah.
I think the trans flag is really nice, like pretty.
Oh yeah, the trans flag is beautiful.
Beautiful.
all of
She's
them,
stunning.
all of them are like wow. Like all of them have like great colors. I was like working on a drawing. I'd never really completed it, but I took all of the colors of flags and I put them onto monsters. And I thought that I was being kind of quirky. Oh, there's a fly.
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
I thought like I was kind of being quirky, and like maybe I'll finish it, but it kind of taught me more about the genders and stuff. So yeah.
Very nice. Very fun. Very fun. Okay. Is there anything else? Any hot takes you have?
I don't have any hot takes. Do you
don't-
have any hot takes that we could discuss?
The internet isn't real life.
True.
Let's stop pretending like it is. What's another hot take I have? Pansexuality and bisexuality are really linked. We have shared histories.
That's actually that's a good question. So omnisexual,
Yes.
pansexual, bisexual.
Yes.
So, what are your opinions about the terms? Do you think that they should be separated, or do you think that they should be grouped?
I think we all kind of fall into that bi plus category.
Yeah.
Where bisexual is kind of the first term to describe people who are attracted to more than one gender. And then pansexual and omnisexual kind of sprouted from within those communities.
So
that are, you know, like those. I consider myself bisexual, and I like consider myself very much allied with pansexuals and omnisexuals.
True, I get that. So bisexual is like I've kind of noticed that like the new term that means bisexual that's surfacing is that that it means just being attracted to two or more genders. But earlier it used to mean, or maybe like I'm wrong here, but I think earlier it used to mean being only attracted to men and women specifically.
Okay, so the way that we used to talk about sexuality was not so much as a thing you identified as, but as a thing you did.
Yeah.
So if you did homosexuality, you were a homosexual. If I did lesbianism, I was a lesbian, and it didn't really matter whether or not I actually also liked men. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So then, we've kind of later on moved into, so kind of in the 80s, where we see a lot of gay and lesbian communities splitting off from bisexuals.
Yeah.
Is where we obviously see terms like bisexual come up. And when you look at historical documents about bisexuality, so I, yesterday night, took the time to read the Bisexual Manifesto, which was written in 1990.
Oh.
And it very much states, like, bisexuality does not necessarily mean only men and women. Because to assume that bi actually means, like, bi does mean two, but it's a duality rather than a dichotomy, or a binary. Like, to assume that there are only two genders and that bisexuals can only be attracted to those two genders is incorrect. I don't know. My take is that bisexual generally means two or more. And then you can talk to the person IDing as bisexual about whether or not they're into
So I was kind of thinking
more than two genders.
I was kind of thinking, right?
Yes.
So I was like on the internet, and I was looking at some like LGBTQ terms, and one that kind of popped up. I forget what it's called, but like there are terms that are used to specifically mean attraction to only men and attraction to only women. Do you think that there could be a term that meant attraction to only men and women?
Oh, so like sapphic, and then the other one, I don't know what the one for MLM is.
Yeah, well, it's not really a term to mean MLM. It's a term that anyone can use, even if they're outside of the LGBTQ community. But like, I think specifically more like non-binary people.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I get what you mean. I think those terms kind of suck. Sorry, they kind of suck. I get it. I understand creating. I don't think that you need to create a new term for people who are only attracted to men and women.
Right.
They can be bisexual. I'm okay with that.
Oh, that's true.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I don't know, like I don't know, something about me just kind of like wants to shove everything into a label.
Yeah, I can tell.
It kind of helps me like better understand the world.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
For you as a baby gay.
Yeah.
That is definitely what I did when I first came out.
Yeah.
And now I am embracing that labels are a lot more fluid, and they only have the meaning that we give them. And so, yeah, I don't know. I also, the terms you're referring to, ones that are like specifically for non-binary people, I think a lot of the times for sapphic non-binary people, so like non-binary people who are into women, a lot of the terms like were made up in like 2017 on Tumblr.
Oh, that's true.
I can't speak for like non-binary people who are attracted to men. I'm not gonna.
Right.
But I can speak on like sapphic communities online. Yeah, a lot of them were like made up in 2017 by people who were like, you can't identify as a lesbian if you're non-binary, which is really ahistorical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
What did I want to say? Oh yeah. Didn't you have like something planned where you would like talk about LGBTQ
Yes.
media?
Yeah, let's do a media corner.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some recommendations.
All right.
You can pick one piece of LGBT media you want to recommend to the world.
Alrighty.
And talk about why you love it.
Okay. All right. So I mean, like, I didn't really have much time to prep for this. Like, only a few seconds. But off the top of my head, something that definitely comes to mind, and like I know that everyone online has already talked about this before, but Steven Universe. Steven Universe was made by a non-binary bisexual woman, and it features characters that are gay, mainly gay women. There are a few non-binary characters, and I think like one gay couple, but I don't know. It's really cool how inclusive the show is.
Love it. Love it. My recommendation is Jennifer's Body 2009. On the surface, Jennifer's Body may appear like a shitty 2009 horror movie. And I'm not saying that it isn't that. I'm saying that it's also a movie that was made by and for sapphics. And it's,
Period.
when you look deeper about internalized homophobia and about abuse in sapphic relationships and how it can really thrive. I'm sorry. It can really thrive on secrecy. As a warning, though, they use the R slur a bunch. They also use butch as an insult, but I think that like in those scenes, in that context, it comes from a place of internalized homophobia, so like slightly different. But like the R slur is not cute.
I've seen it a lot online, and now that I was talking about Steven Universe, like it kind of came to my mind. What's your opinion about LGBTQ characters that exist in a universe but are not human?
I think I know what you're getting at, where sometimes like the only LGBT rap will be in non-human characters.
Yeah.
And I think that it depends on the piece of media specifically and what the messaging otherwise is and who the creators are and a lot of other factors.
True.
But generally, LGBT characters being not human, it gives a lot of messaging about being LGBT being unnatural. So like, I don't know. Yeah. The thing that I think about that's really interesting is I recently finished watching She-Ra, which is a great show.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch it.
But they have one non-binary character, and they're a shapeshifter. And on one hand, I'm not non-binary, so maybe I'm talking over people here. On one hand, that's kind of sick, because like, if you're someone whose gender is kind of fluid,
then you can
may,
do whatever you want.
Yeah, you may. But then on the other hand, they're less, like, none of the characters are really fully human, but they are less human than the rest of the characters.
Right.
They're less humanoid than the rest of the characters, and that's maybe not great. I don't know.
I haven't seen it. Do they have a true form? I'm just curious.
Yes, they do have a true form.
Alright. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know,
They have a true form, and basically they're a drag performer. Like, they talk about their art.
Period.
I kind of love them as a character.
Icon.
They're kind of iconic.
Steven Universe actually featured a human non-binary character that one of the characters, Sadie, was in love with. And you know, honestly, that was really, really cool because it was a woman attracted to a non-binary person, and I don't think that's ever been done in children's entertainment before.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I think there's also that character from The Good Place.
Oh yeah, Eleanor Shellstrop.
Yeah, I haven't watched The Good Place, but aren't they like a robot?
Oh, Janet. Oh.
So what show is that?
Oh my goodness.
Is that The Good Place?
Yes, I don't remember Janet being like pansexual. I might be wrong, maybe.
Not pansexual, it's a non-binary.
Oh, non-binary. Oh yeah. Okay. Kinda, yeah. She's not really anything. She's not a girl. She's not a robot. She just is, but she's humanoid. I think that she uses she/her pronouns.
Okay.
Maybe she uses they/them pronouns. I'm not sure.
We're gonna hope that you're right, but I'm gonna keep using they/them.
She's very they're very like feminine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very feminine presenting, and then they have like the catchphrase of like not a girl.
Yeah.
Which cute.
Yeah. Cute,
Honestly, cute. But also like, aren't they like a robot or like an AI or something?
I don't know. I don't know. Eleanor Shellstrop is definitely bisexual. So is Phil Dunphy. Like there's some characters.
Oh, Phil Dunphy.
There's some characters.
That's implied. That's
yeah,
like he's queer coded.
Yeah. But Phil Dunphy is definitely bisexual.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right.
What is your opinion on the straight flag?
Fuck that. Fuck you.
But like okay. If there's symbols for male and female, why shouldn't there be like a symbol that means the gay flag? Even like outside of Pride, what if there was just a symbol that was used to mean straight people? Like let's say some Tumblr artist.
Are straight people using it? Or are queer people? Or are LGBT people using it to say, hey, these are the cis straight people, stay away from them. Be careful.
True. Guys, I'm actually heterophobic. Like, I'm sorry. Sorry to come out this way. But, like, if you're hetero, like, no thank you. Like, get out of my server.
The thing is, like, I don't know. Because it all ties into pride. And it's like, what do cis straight people have to be proud about? They didn't need to fight for their rights.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of being cis and straight.
Yes.
Like, you didn't need to fight for your rights.
Like, what if, like, kind of, like, I was gonna say National Geographic type beat, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, what if it's just not for any sort of pride, but it's just supposed to be, like, strictly informative? Like, since that there's a symbol that's used to represent male and female, like, if you're a Tumblr artist and you want to show off all of your characters' sexualities, and you don't want to, like, write it down, so you just use flags and you want to show someone as straight, like, using that flag, would it be so awful to do?
No, but people might then have to Google the flag.
Oh, true.
Because it's not commonly used.
Yeah,
so, like,
I've seen it a few times.
I don't know, I think it just makes more sense to write it down. Or if you really want to say that someone's straight, maybe do the symbols, like the gender symbols.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, yeah, everyone, I kind of like how we're kind of in a world where everyone's, like, really well represented. Like, there's some piece of media for everyone. Do you think that there's any underrepresented minority in media?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that we're moving towards better representation in media. Representation in media will never be perfect. I think that the people who end up the most underrepresented are trans people, especially trans people of color.
True.
And often when they are represented, they're played for gags. Like, transphobia is still very mainstream.
And, like, even if they're not played for gags and they're serious, like, before that, they always make a humongous deal out of it. Like, oh my god, look at us, we're representing something. Like, okay. But, like, if you're gonna do that, just don't make a big deal out of it. Like, what if, like, okay, picture this show. It's like a perfect show. Okay?
A perfect show.
So you have let's say, okay, there are main characters, there are a few main characters. One of them is just like a black woman.
Okay.
Alright? But like maybe in season 4, you find out that they were once a man. But like they never talk about it. And no one ever mispronouns them. It's just...
You're mispronouncing her right now.
Oh,
she's a woman.
Oh no. Did I say he?
No, you just said they.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, the reason why I'm using they pronouns is just because
hypothetical person.
It's a hypothetical person.
But she's a woman.
Yeah, but she is a woman. Yeah, and that would be like really cool. Maybe I'm not trans, so I can't really speak for that minority. But that's just kind of like what I think would be really good representation for a trans person, to not know that they're trans from the get-go. There are some people who are openly trans.
Yeah, to not know that they're trans till they let you know later on. On one hand, it's good. On the other hand, it's a very specific view of trans people with specifically like
they're always
passing trans people.
there always has to be like a kind of like spectrum, so that you could see like every side of the trans people and everyone's like three-dimensional.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is when there's not enough representation, then we have to like, how do I explain this? If there's not a lot of LGBT representation, then the view of LGBT people that the mainstream public has is very narrow. But as soon as there are more and more works that represent LGBT plus people, then good. Then
Yeah.
things are good.
Yes, things are great. So are we done? Is that a wrap?
I think so. I think we can wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you for listening or watching.
Yeah, I'll see you guys on episode 2, whatever that is. Am I right?
Yeah,
Let's see
whenever
how
that
different our hair is in episode 2.
That's a collab.
Kind of keeping it interesting.
You'll see how different my hair is.
Yeah, we'll see. Are you dyeing your hair soon?
You'll see what I'll do.
Ooh.
You'll see what I'll do.
Ooh, foreshadowing. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.